Good morning students. Today we have to start with next topic of C++, that is memory management. So students, earlier we have studied libraries, different libraries of C++ where we have studied standard function library and object oriented library. Now after that we have to start with this topic C++ memory management, and then after that we will start with C++ structure of a program. So what is C++ memory management? So as the word is memory management, that is how we have to deal with the management of the memory. So C++ allows us to allocate the memory to a variable at the runtime. So it has provided the facility that we can allocate a memory at the runtime. So when we allocate memory at runtime, this type of allocation method is called dynamic memory allocation. In C++, as we have to allocate memory to the variables. Similarly, we also have to deallocate the memory from the variables that we have already allocated. So this is how we have to manage the memory. So students, in C++, as we have to allocate the memory as well as deallocate the memory of the variables. So both the methods of managing the memory comes under memory management. Now in C++, it provides us two types of operators for these two tasks, that is memory allocation and memory deallocation. So the two operators that we use in C++ is new operator and delete operator. Now what is new operator? What is delete operator? New operator is used to allocate memory to a variable, whereas delete operator is used to deallocate memory of a variable which we have already allocated. So once we no longer need to use a variable that we have declared, we can deallocate the memory occupied by that variable. So we have to do deallocation by using delete operator. And students, it is very important to deallocate the memory, because if we are not using variable, so once let's suppose once we have used a variable, now we no longer require the value of that variable. But how we can preserve memory, how we can reuse memory? We can deallocate the memory of that variable and we can allocate that memory to new variables. So this is how we can manage memory, and we can allocate and deallocate memory, and after deallocating the memory we allocate the same memory to new variables. So that is C++ memory management. Now let's move to next topic, C++ structure. Now what is C++ structure? C++ structure is, students, when we have to write a program, we must know that what is the structure that we have to follow and what is the basic structure of a C++ program. Because when you have to write the statements, it must be clear to you that what is the meaning of every statement, and after any statement whatever you have to write. So you have to follow proper rules and guidelines while writing a C++ program. So let's study the structure of C++. In the C++ structure, the first part is header file declaration section. Header file declaration section is, in this section we have to declare all the header files that we have to use in our program. Next is global declaration section. If you have to declare your variables globally, then you can declare your variables globally after the header file declaration. So I'm here just explaining every block. After that I will explain you this with the program. Next is class declaration and method definition section. Now in this section we have to declare a class, and methods are the functions. If we want to use functions in a program, we have to define the functions inside the class. So in C++ program we can create a class, and inside the class we can create functions. So this is how we have to declare class and we have to define functions. Now next is main function. After declaring the class and after defining the functions, you have to start with the main function in the C++ program. And inside the main function you can also call a function, you can also declare a function, you can also define a function. So that is again a method definition section. So this is a very basic structure of C++ program. Now I have taken a simple example. So this is a very simple program that I have taken. So here I want to show you what is the meaning of every line. So look at the very first line, hash include iostream.h. So what is hash? Hash is a preprocessor directive. So the very first line is header file, because in this we are using header files. Which header file we are using? That is iostream.h. So hash is a preprocessor directive, include is used to include the files, iostream is input output stream, .h is the header file. And after that we have to start with the main function. So this is void main, this is main function. We always have to write the function with this bracket, function bracket. Now start with the curly bracket, this is the start of curly bracket. Cout statement is used to print the value, whereas when we have to input a value from a user we have to use cin, and if we have to print output we have to use cout. So cin used to get the input. Here I have not used cin, I will explain you cin in another program. So here I have used only cout statement. So cout statement is used to print message on the output screen. So this is cout. After cout you have to apply that operator, and in the double quotes you have to write the text whatever you want to display as output on the output screen. So here I have also used /n. /n is used for new line, and it will print the message as hello. /n will not be print on the output screen, because this is just for a new line. So on the output screen, asterisk sign and hello asterisk will be print on your output screen, and you have to end that statement with semicolon. So this is semicolon, curly bracket, close. So this is a very simple program of C++. So whenever you have to write program you have to follow this basic structure. So let's talk on this slide again. So inside the header file we have studied hash include iostream.h, and in the class declaration and method definition section I have not declared any class and section here, because I will switch to this topic after few days, because I have not started the concept of class yet. So that's why I will explain you after some days. So main function is the void main. So this is the void main, and this is a method definition. I have not defined any function, but I have just print a message on the output screen. So that is cout hello. So this will print a hello message on the output screen. So this will print a hello message on the output screen. Now I have taken an example of sum of two numbers, how you have to perform sum of two numbers, and if you want to add two numbers, what is the procedure that you have to follow while writing a program. So start with the very first line, hash include iostream.h. Hash is a preprocessor, include is used to include the files, IO stands for input output, stream.h is a header file. Why we are using this header file? We are using this header file because we have to use input output functions. Hash include conio.h. Conio is used to console the functions. Next is void main. Void main is a main. This is a function. This is the start of the function, and inside the function you have to write the whole code. So start with the curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket, see students, I have already discussed in the previous lectures that what is variable and how we have to declare a variable. So whenever we have to use a variable in a program, it is mandatory that you have to declare that variable, because we have to tell the compiler that we're going to use this variable. So let's suppose I want to add numbers and I want to take this number as a, b and c, and I want to assign some values to a, b, and I want to transfer result into c variable. So what we have to do is we have to declare the three variables a, b, c. And if you remember the declaration rule, it is a rule that whenever we have to declare a variable, we also have to write the data type of the variable. So data type tells the compiler that what type of inputs we want to enter and what types of output we want. So let's suppose we want to deal with the whole numbers, we want to deal with integer numbers, so that why I have declared the variable as an integer data type, integer a, b, c. So it means the value of a, b, c, we will get the value of a, b, c as an integer form. Next line is cin a, cin operator a. Whenever you have to use cin, you have to make use of this operator, that is insertion and exertion operator. In cin and cout, we have to make use of both insertion and exertion operators. So cin operator a, so this statement is used to enter the value of a to get the value of a from the user, whereas the next statement is cin b. This statement is used to get the value of the b from the user. So once we get the value of a and b, now we have to add these numbers and we have to transfer that result into third variable. So for this, what we have to do is we have to write the expression. So I have written expression as a plus b is equals to c. Now the expression is c is equals to a plus b. So whenever we write expression, it transfers the values from right hand side to left hand side. That's why I already spoke that a plus b will be transferred to third variable, that is c. And in c, what is the data type of c variable? The data type of c variable is again integer, because we have already declared integer a, b and c. So it will generate the answer in whole number. So according to this statement, our answer is already stored in c variable. Now we have to print the value of c. So when we have to print the value of c, we have to write cout statement. So the statement is cout operator. In the double quotes, you have to write whatever you want to display on the output screen. For example, I want to display result as word. I want to display result word on the output screen. So I have written result in the double quotes. Now again, you have to print the value of c. So you have to write that numbers, because the value is in c variable. So that's why again you have to write the operator with that variable, whatever we want to display. So as we want to display the value of c, so we have to write c here, and then get ch function. Get ch again is a function which is used to display output on the output screen, and then end the code with the curly bracket. So this is a very simple program, and this is a program of sum of two numbers. So students, today we have studied C++ structure, normal, simple, very simple program, basic program of C++, and this is a full-fledged program of sum of two numbers. Now let's move to next section, C++ comments. So what are comments in C++? And why we use comments? Now I want to explain you why we use comments. Comments are just comments. First of all, comments are non-executable, or it is a non-executable part of the program. Non-executable part means it will not execute when we will run the program or when we will execute the program. The reason is, then if it is non-executable part, then why we are writing comments and why we are using it in C++ program. The reason is we want to describe the whole program in one line, and we want to write or when we want to give a brief name to the program, whatever logic we have applied, so we can write that part in the comment section. So how it is helpful for user and for anyone else? So for example, if you are a developer and you are a programmer and you are developing a program for another person, and you are developing a program of Fibonacci series or factorial of a number. Now when you, after developing the program, when you will hand over the program to the another user, and let's suppose you have designed 10 programs for him, so when he or she will get the code from you, then it is difficult for him to distinguish between all the programs and to understand the logic, because if a person has to understand that what is the logic of the program, he has to study the whole program. But it is very convenient, or it is very useful for the user if we give comment, because it gives brief introduction about the whole concept or about the whole program. So comments are very important part of the program. It is always recommended that make use of comments while writing a program. So this is the reason why we write comments, because it gives brief introduction about the program, and it is helpful for the user as well as for the developer. So now we have to study in this video, in this section, that how we have to write comments and what are the different categories available for writing a comment. Comments can be used to explain C++ code and to make it more readable. So see students, the very first line is we make use of comments to make the code more readable. More readable means it is easy for the user to understand by just reading the name of the program. If we read the name as this program is for factorial of numbers, so it is very convenient for everyone to understand, and he or she has not he or she has not to read the whole code, and it also saves time. So it can also be used to prevent execution when testing alternative codes. So while user has to perform testing on alternate codes, so sometimes it is very helpful in that case, because user get a clear idea or a brief idea, that is what is the logic inside the program, because it must have a name according to the logic. So now when we have to write comments in a program, we have two different categories, that is single line comment and multi-line comment. Now what is single line comment and what is multi-line comment? Single line comment. Single line comment means when you have to write your comment in only one line, you cannot move to next line. So if the name of your program is of less characters, or if the name of your program will be adjustable in one row, then you can make use of single line comment. But if it is very difficult to manage comments in a single line, then you also have privilege that you can write your comments in multiple lines. Even you can write your comments in 2, 3, 4 and 5 lines, up to your choice. So if you have to write comments in multiple lines, you have to make use of multi-line comment. So you have two categories, single line and multi-line. So let's start with the single line comment. How you have to write, because you have to follow different syntax for both. Single line comments start with 2 forward slashes. So whenever you have to write a single line comment, you have to start your comment with forward slash. So first of all you have to write forward slash, then you have to write the name of the program. So that is for single line comment, and any text between the forward slashes and the end of the line is ignored by the compiler. Okay, so you do not have to put anything at the end, you just have to start that line with the forward slash, so it will tell the compiler that you are using single line comment. Now next is multi-line comment. If you have to make use of multi-line comment, multi-line comments start with slash and then asterisk, slash asterisk, and then you have to write the name of the program, whatever you want to write, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, whatever is the name of the program, and at the end you have to close with asterisk sign and backward slash, asterisk sign and backward slash. So whereas in single line you do not have to end the line with any special symbol, you just have to put 2 forward slashes at the beginning, but in case of multi line you have to put the slash with asterisk symbol at the beginning as well as at the end of the name of the program. So this is how you have to make use of single line comment and multi line comment. Now I want to show you one example that how you have to write that comment. So look at this example. I have already explained you this example, that is where we have studied a program of sum of 2 numbers. So I have given a comment at the top of the program. So look at the top of the program to add 2 numbers. So this is a comment part, this is a single line comment because the comment is starting with double slash. So this is a single line comment and it tells the compiler that we have used single line comment. So students, in this session we have studied the C++ structure. After that we have studied a simple format of C++ program, then example of a full-fledged C++ program where we have performed or where we have studied a program of sum of 2 numbers, how we have to add 2 numbers, and after that we have studied comments in C++, what are the different categories in comments and what type of comments we can use. Where we have studied we can write the comments either in single line or in multi lines. If we have to write comment in single line we have to make use of single line comment, otherwise we have to make use of multi line comment. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will start with the next topic of this unit. So students, you have to study that program and you can also perform this program at your home. So if you want to perform this program at your home, what you have to do is you have to install Turbo C, and inside the file option you will get a file, and inside the file you have to go to the new file option and you will get a new blank file, and you have to type your complete program on your PC, and after that you have to save your program. You have to save your program with .cpp extension. After saving the program you have to compile your program. So when you will compile your program, compiler will give you a message whether your program is successful or there are some errors. So if there will be error you have to correct that and you have to repeat the process. Otherwise if the program is success, it means there is no error in the program. After that you have to run your code to check the output. So when you will run your code you will get the output on the output screen. So this is how you can perform this program at your own site. So students, that's all for today.